Yeah, if I could arrest him, I would arrest Netanyahu.
Wow.
Netanyahu is a war criminal who needs, just like any war criminal should be in The Hague.
Assad killed 500,000 Muslims. I didn't see you, Rafael.
Yeah.
I didn't see the groups coming out. You heard about Sudan.
You're just repeating the same
You heard
thing.
about the genocide in Sudan.
You're avoiding
Rafael,
talking.
I want you to take your friends. Come on the streets for Sudan. I'm going to join you. Come on the streets. When you speak about the Holocaust and you speak about, making the movies, the pianist and the Schindler's List and, showing the Jew, educated Jew, talented Jew. You say, why don't you show the Jews? Why don't you show, the good?
Because I think every person is...
I think this is basically...
That's a joke. First of all, that's a joke.
After 6 million Jews were murdered in the Holocaust. Шалом алейхем, дамы и господа. Добро пожаловать в Druzhba TV. У нас сегодня особый гость. Человек, который долго я ему писал и просил встретиться с ним. И сегодня у нас есть эта возможность встретиться. Это, наверное, самый либеральный, самый левый, самый прогрессивный, радикальный бухарский еврей, который сегодня есть в Нью-Йорке, может быть, даже по всему миру. И это Рафаэль Шимунов. Добрый день, Рафаэль. Как вы? Как самочувствие?
Все хорошо.
Значит, с Рафаэль мы будем как-то вести эту сегодняшнюю беседу и на русском, и на английском. Рафаэль, немножко расскажите о вас. Вы родились в Узбекистане, правильно?
Да. I was born in Tajikistan. We moved from where my mom was from, and then we moved and lived in Samarkand in Uzbekistan. And we moved to the U.S. when I was 2.
Uh-huh. So you moved to Brooklyn, right?
First, we had a name from someone who was going to donate, just let us stay for a couple of weeks. And it was an Orthodox Jewish man who allowed us to stay in Borough Park, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then you moved to?
And then we worked with Nyana and all of these groups that helped us. And we were highest refugees. And they helped us find housing in Queens, in Pamanok, by Queens College.
By Queens College. In Sugar Hills?
Where we both went to school, yeah.
Right. So, and then you moved to Fresh Meadows.
Fresh Meadows, there was no, a lot of people said, because there was no other Bukharians yet, really. It was very early. And a lot of people said, why don't you move to South Brooklyn, where everyone speaks Russian and you could have a head start. And we decided to stay there. And Fresh Meadows became Bukhari after. But yeah, we stayed in Fresh Meadows, yeah. And at that time, it was very Italian and Ashkenazi Jewish neighborhood. And then it changed to more diverse, more Asian, more Chinese, more Bukharian, yeah.
And before you went all your life to public school, to the public school system, and then you went to Queens College.
Yeah.
Значит, Рафаэль также был в public school в этой системе, и затем он пошел в Queens College. Он друг Линды Сарсур, Омар, Мамдани, значит, всех тех, которые мы считаем, мы видим их, что они очень радикальны, очень против Израиля. И, конечно же, мы хотели бы услышать сегодня, что нам скажет об этом Рафаэль. В первую очередь я хотел знать, Рафаэль, как вы стали таким активистом? Basically, you are a community activist, community organizer. You founded some of the most lefty Jewish organizations, progressive, liberal, anti-Israel organizations. You are a board member, right? And you are also founded some of them.
I didn't found any of them. I was a board member on, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily, in all of my work, there's people like you mentioned Linda and Zoran and Ilhan and all those people. There's people who are critical of Israel, and then also my friends are people who are Israeli and very defensive of Israel. So my friend group is very wide. And the group that you're talking about is JFRED, Jews for Racial and Economic Justice, where I was on the board. Yeah. And they focus mostly on domestic issues like affordable housing, healthcare, universal pre-K, things like that. Israel is not their top issue.
So in 2014, basically when you're in college, or
2014, I was already in my I was 30-something, and I joined If Not Now, which was a very new organization, and it was basically saying that we should support coexistence between Israelis and Palestinians as Americans. That we were raised thinking only of half the story, and that we should learn the whole story and try to bring kind of peace to that part of the world. And also, in particular with If Not Now, it's about how it affects us, like the Jewish soul, our Jewish culture, like all of our safety, to be part of like ongoing forever war, you know.
Mm-hmm. So basically, there are many other Bukharians that actually are.
I started a group when I didn't see a lot of Bukharians, so I started a group called Progressive Bukharians on Facebook. And people, after Trump got elected, a lot of mostly younger people, Bukharian, were like, they felt lost. They felt like it's difficult to talk to their family, their parents about Trump and why he's dangerous, and to the Bukharian community, to Jews, to Americans. And because there's so much support for Trump in our community, so that I thought if I create a space where we could just talk and support each other, and then we got like hundreds of people to join, and we have all those discussions, and we support each other, and we have difference in opinions about a lot of things.
So you have hundreds of Bukharians, youngsters?
They're not that young. I mean, there could be anywhere from in their 20s to their 40s. Yeah.
That actually share your ideas?
No, I would say among them, I'm one of the few more left people. And inside the group is people with all sorts of opinions, except we all agree that Trump is dangerous. We argue about Israel, we argue about Palestinians, we argue about Mamdani, whatever, but we agree that Trump is dangerous.
You probably know David Aronoff, right?
Oh, yeah.
An activist.
I adore David, yeah.
Right. So I met with him some time ago, and he asked me why I don't support him running for public office. And I told him, David, you're too lefty for me. You support BLM, Black Lives Matter, etc. I saw your posts on Instagram, on Facebook. And I told him, for me, you is like Рафаэль Шимунов.
Oh, well, David and I never agree on anything.
So he told me, you insulted me. This was his reaction. You insulted me. Wow. I said, you basically were anti-Trump. You were basically a representative of Biden, a delegate of Biden.
He was, yeah.
Right, he was a delegate of Biden.
He's more on the liberal side. Like, he's actually very far from me ideologically. He's more, like, I would never support really Biden, right? I would support like a Bernie, right?
Sanders.
Bernie Sanders. And he would support Biden or maybe Elizabeth Warren or something like that. So he's... I would never be insulted being compared to him because I like him. It's not an insult to me.
I also like him.
Yeah.
For me, it was the liberal, Bukharian. Yeah. But when I mentioned, your name next to his name, he said, no.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't insult me. This was his reaction.
That's okay. I don't. I only understand things if I hear it from the person to me. So if he tells me he's ashamed of being compared to me, we could talk about it. But I respect him so much.
So you said most of the Bukharian community are more to the right.
Yes.
Most of us are Trump supporters in the Bukharian community.
Yeah.
But your parents, basically, and your family, they are more to the right, or they also share the views that you share?
My family was always very apolitical. Like they were just more like in an immigrant mentality. They're like, don't rock the boat. Jang neonasi. How do they say? Don't make trouble. Don't ask for trouble, right? And don't be involved with those things. Just get a good job, start a family, do all those kind of things. But the values, my father was architect. He worked when he started all the jobs, the factory, the cab, the hot dog stand, like all of those things, even in a time when they were stabbing the cab drivers in New York City. And he worked really hard to like build something for us, a future here. And my mom too, she started at the Wendy's, and then she became a nurse. And so they really achieved like an American dream in a way that's much harder today. But they were always very apolitical, but they had these values, like family values, and they believed, and my dad opened once a jewelry store, and some young man would try to rob them. And he was very young and stuff like that, and the police would be like, do you want us to arrest him, press charges? And my dad would look at him and be like, he looks very scared, maybe he's struggling or something like this, if he doesn't have any record, why, just he made a mistake, he's a young man, he's a kid, he was very open to people making mistakes and changing from that. But also we always disagreed on the Iraq War, we disagreed on certain policies, but at the very heart of it, they were humanitarian people. They cared about other people, especially Bukharians, but they cared about all people.
By the way, your mom is a nurse, so
My mom is a nurse.
She's part of the group that Mamdani mentioned, the Uzbeki nurses.
Yeah.
So I know that you are very close to Mamdani.
Yeah.
You can just explain to him that most of the Uzbeki nurses are actually Bukharian Jews.
Yeah, he knows that. Yeah.
He knows that. He never mentioned Bukharian Jews or Russian-speaking Jews.
I wish I could help.
I wish he would have mentioned us also, but not only the other.
I think it's
groups.
possible. I think he has left. What I know about Zoran, I worked with him as a friend and as a colleague for many years. What I know about him is he leaves the door open for anybody. There are people who support him now, rabbis and people who said terrible things about him. They said untrue, terrible things, and he still opened the door. There's things that people said that would get death threats to him and his family.
Yes, but Raphael, you have to understand, after listening to him very carefully, a person that says, and I know you say it also, from the river to the sea.
I don't really say that.
And they globalized the Intifada.
He doesn't say that either.
And he said it.
No, he doesn't say that.
No?
No. If you look up, did Zoran Mamdani, just any Google, whatever, did Zoran Mamdani say, you'll see what he said was, he has never used that language, but he doesn't want to start policing people's language because different things mean different things to different people. For example, the word Zionism to my family means just a home for Jews to be safe after the genocide, after a Holocaust, after Shoah. And that's a beautiful, innocent idea. To another person, Zionism means Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Sinai, North Egypt, Lebanon, that's what that means, So words are they have different meanings to different people. So when someone says intifada, it's a terrible term to use to Jews because the word to Jews in Israel in the second intifada meant violence. And it was horrible violence done in the name, and they used the word intifada. In the first intifada, which was more peaceful, intifada was art, intifada was song. It's just an Arab word for uprising.
Uprising.
It's like if I did a protest and I said, we need a revolution, we need universal health care. And then someone did something violent and said, we did this for revolution. So now, if the word is in Arabic, they're going to say, you could never say that word again. But if it's in English or Hebrew or Russian, we're allowed to use the word. You know what I mean? So
my Arab friends tell me the Intifada, it's a violent uprising against the non-believers. And this is what happened in Israel, like you said, the first and second Intifada, when hundreds of Jews were murdered, thousands of Jews were injured.
Including some of my family members.
They were bombing themselves in buses, in cafes, in restaurants, in pizzerias. And this is very scary. Today, to globalize Intifada,
it is scary if that's the definition you use. So he's basically saying, I never used that. He didn't. And he said, I don't support people using it. I don't think it's smart to use it. You know what I mean? Because it's whatever. But he's not going to say we should ban saying these words because he, as a Muslim person, knows that how Muslim and Arab words are treated. So if something is done in one way, it's like, for example, the word Sharia, which is it just means kosher, like halal. It just means the law, like the canon. Sharia means lending someone money.
I think it's more than this. The Sharia law actually has a special meaning to it. Yeah. And the Sharia law, it's a very strict law that basically limits the non-believers, limits women's rights in Islam.
Yeah.
etc.
In the Jewish world, we have the similar word. In the Catholic world, they have a similar word. And there's debate about what the law is. So to some Muslims, Islamists, like right-wing Islamist Muslims, they will believe that Sharia is this violent thing. You have to get rid of everyone who's not Muslim. Absolutely. Al-Qaeda, ISIS, that kind of Sharia, yeah. The other, most Sharia, most Muslims, when they say Sharia, it's, taking your shoes off, praying multiple times a day, doing Hajj, eating halal food. That's Sharia.
I know that you're very critical of the Israeli government, of the IDF, of Israel, of Israel's right to defend itself. So let's start from October 7th. And I know, like you told me just right now, before October 7th, when Israel was trying to defend itself in 2014, you already came, and started, demonstrating against the only Jewish state in the world. So October 7th, basically, what was your reaction when you heard about October 7th?
I was horrified. In particular, I knew that in South Israel, by the border, it's a lot of Bukharians, a lot of Mizrahi, a lot of Sephardi Jews live there. And I knew that there was going to be victims from our community, and there was.
So you were horrified. You heard about October 7th. This was like for a day or two, and then you guys came on the streets.
I'm still horrified of what happened on October 7th, but I'm also horrified on how something that horrible can move people to do more horrible things. I had this special situation, which I don't know if you had, but during that time on my phone, one text is from Israeli family member, a friend, who's like going in a bomb shelter, or whose son is being sent to war, or this kind of thing, and crying and scared. And on my other text is Palestinian person saying their entire house was flattened with all of their children.
So according to you, the Israelis were raped, beheaded, burned to death. 250 people were taken as hostages to the tunnels in Gaza. So Israel shouldn't, do anything.
I didn't say that.
Don't leave Gaza alone. They're going to do that.
I didn't say that. I think
because from what I understand, this was a genocide, and I heard you, and I was following you a little bit, Raphael.
Yeah.
And basically, you call the Israeli actions as a genocide.
Yeah, it is a genocide.
You know the definition of genocide?
Yeah, every scholar of genocide has declared it a genocide, including Israel.
Okay, so genocide basically is trying to get rid of a religious group or ethnic group, etc.
Yeah.
To cleanse, the world from the group.
Right, any amount.
Hamas has it in the charter that they wanna basically destroy the Jewish people, not only in Israel, but all over the world. And this is in their charter.
You will never find me ever defending Hamas.
Written black and white. So now, to accuse the IDF or the Israelis that are just coming to defend themselves.
You think it's not more complicated than that? Everyone is just defending themselves. There's no one, like in this country, when someone goes to war, some people are doing it for oil, some people are doing it for land, some people are doing it for profiting, for weapons. But in Israel, everyone does everything only for the correct reason.
Right, and I'll tell you why.
Are they better than us?
And I'll tell you why. Raphael.
We don't do that even.
Because in 2005, because you want to tell me that the Israelis want the land, they need Gaza?
It depends who, which Israel.
Okay, so let me just remind you. 2005, Arik Sharon, he was the prime minister.
He removed the settlers from
He took all Jews.
Did you support that?
1 second. He took all Jews from Gush Katif, from all the areas in Gaza that they settled, basically, and he used the IDF to take them by force. Basically, they left, not only this, the cemetery where the Jews were buried, the graves were removed to Israel. He didn't leave one Jewish person there. The next day, the Palestinians, still not Hamas yet, came, burned all 19 synagogues, burned them, burned the Jewish homes there, And
I don't know. I never heard that story that they burned that, but maybe I don't know.
I can show it
But
to you.
yeah, I would like to see that. But
so
I'm not here to defend that.
And 2005, 2007. Let me just. You probably know it. So I'm going to educate. I don't know you or our viewers over here. So in 2007, Hamas took control of Gaza.
Yeah.
How they took it? There was a violent uprising. They were killing and just throwing, from rooftops. Beheading Fatah members, the PLO members.
Yeah, you know how they were funded, right?
And they were, and they took
Netanyahu
control.
was funding.
No.
Sharon and Netanyahu.
And then
the government. Wait. This is proven.
I'm just going to finish my point, and then you're going to speak of it. Yeah. And basically, they took control. And since then, rockets were fired into civilian areas, like you said, Sderot. Then it moved to Ashkelon, Ashdod, and Beersheba, and Gan Yavne, etc. And I was in Sderot a few times.
I'm glad you're okay.
And it was unbelievable. I went there, and I met there with the mayor and the vice mayor, the deputy mayor. And I met there with Bukharian Jews, about 500 families in Sderot.
Yeah.
And they were terrified.
Of course.
Basically, the kids lived under the terror of the missile attacks from Hamas.
Yeah.
So this is a genocide.
So my question,
when the Israelis, trying to protect, and they didn't have a reason, you got the keys, you got Gaza, you got billions of dollars from Arab states, from Europe, and from America, just build it. And they used it to create the terror tunnels. Use it for schools.
I'm not going to change your mind.
Use it
today.
For hospitals.
But I'm going to say...
And they used it for the tunnels and to fund the terror.
When human beings do things like that are horrible, like shooting rockets over to innocent people's homes, like when human beings do that, that's horrible. You could solve it by creating more violence. Of course, let's do defense, all of those things, but you can solve it by creating more violence. It doesn't really solve it. You have to go to the root. In the two examples you gave me, your story began when Hamas or Palestinians or whoever attacked Israelis. Your story never began with 1948.
Okay, I'll go back. 1948, 1947, October 29th, 1947. The United Nations, basically, there was a vote, and they decided to divide and to create, the Jewish state. The Arabs didn't agree to it. They started the fighting, This has led to 1948, Hey B'Iyar, to the Israeli Independence Day. But you have to understand something. In Gaza, at that time, 1948, you had 60,000 Arabs. Currently, you have 2.5 million. So this is not a genocide. When you had 60,000 in 1948,
there's no such thing,
and now you had
only 60,000. Gaza is
One
actually.
second. You want to ask ChatGPT, or you want to ask Google?
ChatGPT is not research, but
you want to ask Wikipedia? You want to ask ChatGPT? You can ask anything.
I should show you the court
the Gazan population, basically in.
Do you know why Gaza's population is so dense right now? It's because after 1948, when Israel did ethnic cleansing.
Okay, or just let me just. I'm going to. Рафаэль, I'm going to let you speak.
I'm not disputing anything.
No, you disputed the numbers. Before the 1948 Arab-Israeli war, the population of the Gaza region was approximately 60,000 to 80,000 Arab residents.
Okay.
So this is basically ChatGPT. And I remember because I researched even before.
First of all, ChatGPT. There's court cases where lawyers used it and they lost their case because that's not always very accurate. However, even if I accept that number,
look at the Arab sources.
It's
also
fine. Yeah, I'll look at all the sources, even if I accept that number.
The next source was Al Jazeera.
Okay, it's
so
fine.
it's a 60 to 80,000. Now that 2.5
so there's no
genocide, Рафаэль.
Brother, I'm not debating this. So what I'm debating is why Gaza exists. Why is there millions of people there? Why isn't the most dense population in the world? No. Because they had a lot of babies.
Again, I have to correct you. I have to correct Рафаэль. The most dense area in the world currently is Bnei Brak. Bnei Brak, it's a city in Israel. And people say Gaza, but Bnei Brak in Israel
Gaza's number 2 then?
is the most dense population in the world. People don't realize this, and they always say Gaza. Right. And not only this, let's go back to Gaza.
Wait. So you're saying then Gaza's number 2 or number 3. It doesn't matter. It is extremely dense population because the inhabitants there used to live all across of Israel. So they were forced into Gaza as refugees.
No,
in
no,
Gaza.
yeah,
That's
Raphael,
why.
you have
They didn't come from the sky.
No, you have incorrect.
These are our people.
This-
as Jews, when
This
we
is
were...
natural growth over there. And
No,
they
that
came-
is not natural growth.
They came 2.5 million. Not only this, Gaza, pre-1967.
All right.
Who
We could
controlled
debate
Gaza?
Israel forever.
Raphael, John, pre-1967, who controlled Gaza?
Egypt.
Correct. So pre-1967, Egypt controlled Gaza. Yehuda and Shomron,
Yeah.
the West Bank, were controlled by the Jordanians, and they started the Six-Day War in 1967.
I know we're not gonna debate all of history.
No, no, it's not. So basically, Israel, Baruch Hashem,
Yeah,
was
I read Michael Oren's 6-Day War book. It's incredible. It's
right.
great.
So Israel liberated Jerusalem,
Yeah.
East Jerusalem, that was under siege by the Jordanians. They liberated Yehuda and Shomron,
Yeah.
the West Bank. The Golan Heights from the Syrians, because all this,
Liberated.
all this,
like we liberated Iraq. Yeah.
because all these Arab nations, Muslim nations, attacked Israel on,
Just for no reason.
1967. 1967, Gaza, till 19, like you said, and you said correctly, it was belonged to Egypt. There was no
It was
Palestinian.
controlled by Egypt.
Right. It wasn't
wasn't
a
belonged
Palestinian state or independent state, you know.
Okay, so
with
you don't
their-
think Palestinians even exist?
Arab, right? No. What? This is an Arab population. They
Well, yeah,
exist
but do they
all
exist
over
as
Israel.
Palestinians?
You have to understand, Palestinians, there were Jews that were called Palestinians.
Yeah, of course.
Because Palestinian, this is a Roman name that the Romans gave to Yehuda and Israel, to the areas that they controlled, and they call
Apart
it
from the
Palestinians.
name,
No,
apart from the name, you don't
the
believe that
Arabs.
that's their own people. They're just the same. So a Palestinian is the same as someone in Morocco?
Arabs existed in Israel.
Yeah.
Most of them were some Bedouin that actually were moving from place to place. Some of them were in
All
Palestine.
right.
There's
so
no
you
question.
Have a very, we're not going to...
Raphael, just one second. Some of them, were in Palestine. This was called, Israel was called officially Palestine.
Yeah.
They were the Turks, the Ottoman Empire, then the British,
Yeah.
and basically that controlled the area of Palestine.
I would love to
the
do
Jews,
a whole discussion about
No,
all of the history.
We're gonna move to. So basically, yes, you had the Jews there. You had the Arabs over there. Then we had some rich Jews like Montefiore and Rothschild that infused a lot of money into building and rebuilding Israel.
Yeah.
And many of the Arabs in the region, from Jordan, from Egypt, from Lebanon, from Syria, moved over there because they knew this is where they can find work,
Opportunity,
right? Opportunity. And basically, you have the name Al-Masri and Il-Siri, and this is the names basically of the Arabs that came from the different regions.
We also have Jewish names
from
that
different
sound
states.
from European places.
That came there, and basically they wanted to use the economic opportunities. So they weren't Palestinians. They were just Arabs, Muslims, Arab Muslims.
No.
And
they're the Arabs closest to the
the
Jews
Palestinians
historically.
started calling them Palestinians just 1964.
No.
This is when they started
That's not
calling
true.
themselves Palestinians.
That's not
Otherwise,
true
there
at
was no Palestinian state. There was no.
There was coins already. There was maps. There's
the
Israeli
coins, the Roman coins, right.
Israeli stamps that say Palestine.
Palestine, right,
Before
because-
67.
Right, correct,
And
because-
Palestinians call themselves Palestinians.
Because the
But
Jews-
listen,
the
I'm
Jews-
not-
the Jews
You should
that-
get a Palestinian here to talk about.
Raphael John, the Jews over there were called Palestinians, Palestinian Jews, Palestinian Jews, because this was the region. It was called
I agree.
Palestine.
Yeah.
Yes, you had
Because
the
we
money. The
coexisted.
money were the Israeli
Before
money.
1948, we
You could-
coexisted with Palestinian
They were
Muslims.
the liras, the Israeli. You're right. You're correct. But it was.
And there's
basically-
a lot of Jews today who
But
think
this is-
that we can coexist today.
Why not?
Yeah, that's what
Why
I
not?
believe. That's what I believe.
I have so many Muslim friends.
Yeah, I bet.
I have, there is no question. But when you have and you're trying to commit a genocide, to wipe the Jews, and you rape, and you kill, and you behead, and you burn, and then when the Jewish state trying to defend itself,
Yeah. My only point is it's not as black and white as you're saying.
and
My
again,
point
I
is that in
was
every
very
war-
hurt when you said that the IDF and Israel committing genocide
They are
in
to this day.
Gaza.
Right now. Yeah, they are right now. And apartheid.
Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about the IDF. Before shooting, before coming to an area in Gaza, they dropped leaflets.
This is all false. This is information from 1990s.
No
one believes that anymore.
They remove populations. They said, please move from war zone because we don't want. But unfortunately,
This is propaganda. Hasbara. That's what this is.
unfortunately, Hamas controlled
If
them.
you're watching this,
and
look up
Hamas-
Google Hasbara, and you'll understand what this all is. It's propaganda.
Okay, and Hamas basically wanted them to be there because they wanted to use them as a human shield.
So for your points to be true, it means that Muslim people and Palestinian people value life less than we do. That there's something wrong with them.
So
like, what is
the philosophy or the Islamic?
Okay, so there's something wrong with people who study Islam.
No. People that study Islam can be very, very nice.
Yeah.
But the radical Islam in the world today.
What about radical Jews?
One second, radical Islam today,
Yeah.
and basically they're ready to sacrifice, like you said in the Intifada, their kids, their babies, and there is something wrong.
Okay.
If the
You
kid,
don't think Israelis are sacrificing soldiers?
If the kid went into a bus and bombed themselves and killed 20 Jews, you see the mothers distributing sweets and baklava in the streets of Gaza and in the West Bank and celebrating.
Are you curious what could happen to a person where they would celebrate that kind of horrible act? What could happen to them? What is happening to them? To me, that's the big question.
I think they became too radicalized.
Yeah, I agree.
And
but
I
why?
think because from the age of 0, they've been educated in the schools in Gaza and in the West Bank to hate Jews, to kill Jews, that the Jews are bad,
Jews?
that the etc. So
Are there radical, violent Jews in Israel?
So this is very dangerous.
Yeah.
The philosophy, of the radical Islam. Not only this, look at this, Raphael. We're sitting here today, and just a week ago, look at the massacre in Australia.
Yeah.
And why did it come out? Because October 8th, look what happened in Australia. Like everything that happened also throughout the world. But October 8th, you had the pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas mobs on the street of Australia and chanting and celebrating October 7th. October 8th.
You think that's why? Okay, so let me explain.
And then you have the left.
The investigation. The investigation said that they had ISIS flags. ISIS was killed by Palestinians. They hate each other. So I don't understand.
It's a few different rival groups. The ISIS, the Hamas, but they have the same ideology.
Hamas has the same ideology as ISIS?
Sure.
They kill each other.
No, right, but they have rivals. The Islamic Jihad also rivals with Hamas.
Yeah.
You have to understand, you're right. After they're going to finish,
after
they're going to finish killing the Jews, they're going to kill themselves. There is no question, because this is radical Islam. I'm not speaking about peaceful Islam.
Okay, so you have a strong
opinion
about peaceful Islam, radical. Do you think there's not peaceful Judaism?
And this is...
Wait, you've avoided this question.
No, I just want to go back. You said that Israel is committing genocide.
Okay.
Can you explain?
Basically, genocide is a legal term. Started because of what happened to our people. And in that legal term, there's a checklist. And in every checkbox of that checklist, according to every scholar, 99% of the scholars of genocide, including Israeli, including Jewish, all of them, agree that it's a genocide. A genocide is when you purposely target people based on who they are. And we know that in Israel, people are targeted. Even Israeli citizens who are Palestinian are targeted for being Palestinian. Even in the West Bank, where there's separate roads for Jews and non-Jews, people are targeted for that. And in Gaza, like for example, if there was a mass shooter here across the street, God forbid, right? If there was a mass shooter in a building here, and they were harming people and we were going after them, are we going to bomb the building from the sky? No, we're gonna risk our lives and we're gonna go inside and we're gonna get that person that we're trying to get. We're not gonna bomb from the sky and do the leaflets like you said. We're gonna go and we're gonna protect life, because that's the main Jewish principle.
This is what
when you kill one life, you kill the universe.
100%, and I agree with you. This is what the IDF does.
No.
And the IDF
they're laughing on video on TikTok,
moral.
laughing, doing detonation, wearing women's lingerie,
and this is the most ethical, most moral army in the world.
Okay.
Correct.
Your arguments are from 1992.
I think you just mentioned 60,000 Palestinians were killed in Gaza.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, so there is an X amount of Palestinians killed in Gaza by the IDF defending,
according
Israel.
to you,
right?
Yeah.
Right. And
my question, you never will answer.
The numbers, the numbers that you just mentioning.
I didn't even mention.
Okay, that basically activists mentioned. This isn't the numbers that the Hamas gave them.
Because it's,
And
okay, let me explain that one.
And I don't believe the Hamas
Okay,
numbers.
so that means we shouldn't count, right? Because
No.
Wait. The IDF itself admits that in the past, the Hamas number, which is true, you're right, the health ministry
Correct.
is owned by whatever's controlling the government.
Correct.
That's like saying that because Trump is president, the post office here is Trump. That's how you're saying that it's Hamas. It's a bunch of doctors and volunteers who are counting the numbers, and they count it so carefully that they have to undercount it so that they could stay credible. So Israeli IDF uses the same numbers from them because it's so credible. You could look that up. Israelis themselves have written.
So I hear different numbers. I hear 60,000, 70,000.
It's much more.
People, much more, 80,000.
It's over
people.
100,000. Yeah.
We hear even the Palestinian health ministry, like you said, it is controlled by the Hamas.
No, it's controlled by Hamas, like Trump controls the post office.
They said 70, 80,000. You became already, and you give them 100,000 casualties. But let me tell you.
Not casualties, murders. Yeah.
First of all, they count everybody. Babies until old age.
Yeah, they should count. We count everyone too.
For the past 2.5 years, since October 7th started,
I count everyone. When we do our protests and we pray for the dead,
right.
we
everybody,
count everybody.
Whoever
IDF
died.
soldiers.
No, whoever died, I mean, whoever from the Arab population in Gaza.
Yeah.
So, just if you're going to check natural death in Gaza, every year you have about 30,000 people that just
Do you want
died.
to know why?
No, they just died. No,
They just die out of nowhere. This is weird. They have 4 hours of electricity a day.
Pre-October
7th.
Pre-October.
4 hours of electricity
The same
a
thing
day.
in America. It's the same
No, it is
percentage.
not.
Okay, so you got to have a half percentage more.
I didn't know this is going to be all about.
No, I'm not. I mean, I want to move from the subject.
1992 Hasbara.
I want to move from the subject. I said, Raphael, you have a beautiful Jewish soul. You are a Bukharian Jew.
Yeah.
You know, how you get into it. So basically...
Because I was raised as a Bukharian to take care of everybody.
Okay,
When we make plov, everyone eats the plov.
Right. So next time we're going to invite you to a plov, Bezrat Hashem. Should we give you a little more tea?
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So basically... everybody loses
Can
the
I
population.
finally ask one question?
Yeah, we got to have one second. So from my research, about 30,000 people die out of natural causes in Gaza, in Israel, like in America, etc. A certain percentage of the population.
So Israel didn't kill any innocent person?
No, they killed. So 2.5 years, 30,000, it's already 60, 70,000. Then you have the Hamas warriors, and then you have some civilians that were killed, but I basically consider
we're not going to agree tonight.
They were killed by Hamas.
Yeah.
Because the Hamas used them as human
shields. When Israel puts their IDF command station in the middle of a mall in Tel Aviv, it's okay if Iran attacks and it kills innocent people because Israel put themselves as a human shields around Israel.
No, basically this is what Iran did. In the 12-day war, Iran sent missiles into populated buildings. If it's Bat Yam, Ramat Gan, etc.
But why are the IDF buildings in the middle of civilians?
No, why are the IDF?
Yeah, they are.
I was in Bat Yam just a month ago. I saw the area where the building, the building was demolished.
I could show you a map. Look up a map.
This was very popular. There's no Israeli army base in Bat Yam over there.
I could show you.
Next to this building.
Haaretz had the map with all of the, even the Shin Bet, even the, all of the security forces headquarters. Not all of them. Some of them are in a desert, but like some of them are in the middle of a mall, across the street from a kindergarten, like this, in front of a synagogue. Like
this is Hamas. This is not Israel.
No, it is not.
Wow, Raphael, you got brainwashed.
I'm not brainwashed. I'm telling you, anyone could check this, look it up. I'm reading Israeli newspapers that are showing.
So I'm going to go farther because I know that you came on the streets. You came with the left, liberal, with the radical. Islamist and
there was no Islamist people with us.
Liberal
it wasn't very radical. We're just humanitarians. When there's a war in Iraq, we're against it. When there's a war, anywhere, there's a genocide anywhere, we come out all the time.
Let me ask you. Assad killed 500,000 Muslims. I didn't see you, Raphael. I didn't see the groups coming out
Actually, I
on,
actually did advocacy against Assad.
on college campuses,
Yeah, because-
on
okay, so
universities, on the streets,
Okay,
in
let me answer
Manhattan.
that. Let me
Yes.
answer that for you. So you said college campuses.
Right.
So college campuses right now, they have big endowments, right? They have a lot of money in the bank that just collects interest and gets investments. And they make decisions on where to invest. Some of these colleges invest in Israeli weapons.
In Israeli bonds, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
and no,
weapons.
directly into weapons
Israeli
manufacturing
bonds.
as well. Yes, bonds, and also into
It's
weapons.
totally different.
Both. You're right, and I'm right.
None of them.
People can fact check that.
Okay.
So then, in the college, they're saying, okay, they're using American tax dollars to do this. They're using my tuition to do this. They're using American veto power in the UN to do this. We're not doing that for Syria. Syria is not held up.
So this is why
Assad was
everybody
not
were
held
home
up. Wait,
when the Syrians were killed and
Assad
raped?
was not held up by the university. Assad was not held up by U.S. tax dollars. Assad was not held up by vetoes in the UN. Israel was. So we see that we have control over a power to end harm, to end war. With Assad, we don't have any power. We could just say that's wrong. Someone should intervene. There should be sanctions.
So why
something like
people
that.
didn't come out? Because there were no Jews involved.
No, that's
because
not
there
true.
was a Muslim
Americans-
on a white killing,
America, this country is the
other
least,
Muslims.
This country is the least anti-Semitic country in the world.
I'm not speaking about
And-
America as a country. I'm speaking about the left,
No. This is
liberal
not just the
groups
left.
that came out.
To you,
and
it's easy
for
to
the
say,
past 2 years,
to you, it's easy to see a protest and say that's just the left. These are people. They are regular people, teachers, school bus drivers. They came and they joined us. You know what I'm Jews, rabbis.
no
people
question.
came and
The
they joined
Nazis also, the regular teachers.
Are you comparing people
and
to
the,
Nazis?
and the doctors
You're
and this, they
comparing these
also
kids
came
to
out and
Nazis?
killed the Jews.
But are you-
they
is that
also
real?
gave up their neighbors.
Is that
you
real?
know?
You're comparing them to Nazis, like these people who are just want to end war?
No. If you just want to end war, it's something. But when you call, you don't.
So when someone
you
criticizes Israel, they have to first criticize every country in the world before they criticize Israel.
Not every country. But let's say Assad, you said, okay, they didn't come on. Now let's say Yemen, 400,000 people.
Yemen, my
Muslims,
friends and I have protested what's happening in
were
Yemen.
killed
That
and
the
murdered
US
in Yemen. Where
The
we didn't
U.S.
see
did support
them.
that. We did protest
We
that.
didn't
In
see
fact,
them.
where I worked, we
We didn't see
sued.
them.
We sued for that. Yeah, Palestine has a very.
Raphael, one second.
Wait. You know why?
Why?
There's a
Because the
difference-
Jews are involved.
No,
There's only one reason, because
we
the
see
Jews
with
are
our
involved.
own eyes on our phones what's happening.
Right. You have
see
you have the
it.
Hamas
So
propaganda.
you're telling us
Hamas had
propaganda.
1,100 people just in their propaganda division,
Did you
1,100
ever cry?
employees.
Did you ever cry when you saw a Palestinian child with the mom in the middle of?
There is no question when I
You
saw
did? You cried?
when I saw a Palestinian baby
Yeah. You
die,
cried.
not out of the cast.
I'm
some
sure
of them
you did cry.
Some of this and
Yeah.
most of the things were staged by Hamas.
Oh, my
there
God.
was a kid, let's and they took and you see
You're
the
repeating
pictures
every line.
and you see the
That's so
pictures,
not true.
that they stage. But there's no question. Some babies innocently died.
Yeah.
There is no question about
Okay,
it.
so how do we
But
prevent that innocent
let me,
baby?
but
from
let me tell you about the innocent Gazans.
Yeah.
Let me just remind you, October 7th, 8th, and 9th, they celebrated, gave sweets, gave baklawas on the streets of Gaza.
Some
These
people did
innocent Palestinians. I'm not speaking about the warriors of
Some people did that,
Hamas.
yeah. But why?
Yeah.
You don't question why people would
Why?
do that?
Because they were happy that the kids where they were calling the moms and dads.
Right.
They said, "Oh, I just killed 10
Why?
Jews, Mom.
Why?
You should be proud of me. I just killed over here in the
Why?
kibbutz 10
Right.
Jews."
So do you
They
investigate?
didn't say 10 Israelis or 10 human
you believe in
beings. It's 10
psychology,
Jews.
right? Psychology, the science of
That's
psychology, right? You do. So isn't there a psychological explanation about suffering and pain and division and unequal rights and all of those things that can drive...
Again,
Wait. The best thing you can do to fight Hamas is to make them unable to recruit people. If you're able to show, if Hamas is able to show, no matter what you do, as long as you're a Palestinian, they can take your house anytime you want. You have a separate set of laws. There's 67 extra laws in Israel against Palestinians who are Israeli citizens even. So they can just keep showing all of these kind of things. And then, of course, they're going to recruit people. So wait. My question is, that's how you stop recruiting them, by getting rid of the excuses they use to recruit people. And also, another question you didn't want to answer earlier was that Netanyahu himself and Sharon and the Israeli government funded Hamas for over 10 years. You know that,
Raphael,
right?
you're
that?
speaking about the 2002?
Oh, so you're admitting
propaganda?
that.
No, not admitting.
It's not propaganda.
What I want to tell you
It's
about
in Israeli documents.
Yeah, You said because they were suffering. You have to remember, Sharon gave the keys to the Palestinian people over there, to the Arabs in Gaza. They could have made it the Riviera of the Middle East.
No, that's not
right
how it
on the
was.
beach. It was so beautiful.
They weren't given that. They were controlled from every side. They couldn't fish.
2.5 million. You know the
electricity.
population of 2.5 million people? It's like Queens. Queens, how many hospitals we have in Queens?
Queens and the size of the strip of
How
Las
many?
Vegas.
How many we have? They have about six hospitals over there.
Yeah.
There are 32 hospitals there. There are beautiful shopping centers. There are beautiful restaurants there.
Where?
But no, in Gaza.
Oh, but I thought they didn't
Because-
build anything.
No, but yeah. But if they would have used the money, to develop themselves,
Okay,
they would
so-
have been the
So
Riviera
you're
of the
saying
Middle
there's something
East.
wrong with them.
There's something wrong
Okay,
with the
I don't agree there's
ideology.
something wrong
Now
with
another question. You know the Uyghurs in
Uyghurs?
UK, the Uyghur in China. You know them, right?
Yeah, we protest their genocide.
Right. Genocide with over 1 billion in concentration camps by the Chinese, right? Government.
I don't think that's the number, but yeah, whatever. The number is important.
800,000 then?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are your
You said
groups?
1 billion people.
I said million. I said million. I'm sorry. I said million. So where are your people? Why are you not on the streets
We don't-
protesting the Chinese government
Do you
and
do, we
for
have,
the
do I have
Uyghurs?
power over the Chinese government?
No, again,
How do you think protest works? I'm
Chinese-
an organizer.
there's no question.
I can tell you why we.
Chinese, it's a power. It's a huge power,
Okay,
yes.
so how can I influence
You?
China
Yeah.
to do something? Tell me. Just yelling in the
No,
sky?
no. The Americans, the Europeans have economic ties,
Okay.
have
Yeah, they're
political
already doing
ties
that. They already do that.
with China.
Yeah.
UN, etc.
We
China
already
has
do that.
the veto right. China is a superpower. Again,
Yeah, how do we
Because
know?
there are no Jews involved,
That's not true.
so you guys are quiet.
No.
What about Sudan? You heard about Sudan?
You're just repeating the
You
same
heard
thing.
about the
You're
genocide in
avoiding-
Sudan?
you're avoiding
Rafael,
talking.
I want you to take your friends. Come on the streets for Sudan. I'm going to join you. Come
Are
on
you
the
going to
streets.
join me?
Yeah, come on the streets for the Uyghurs, against the Chinese.
Yeah.
Come on the streets for Yemen. I'll join you.
I haven't
but
seen
when
you, though. Like, you
right,
haven't done anything for Uyghurs.
Right, but when you guys
But
only
wait.
come,
We should
Yeah.
do everything, but you shouldn't do
No,
anything.
no. But when you come
Where's-
only,
wait.
when you
Where's
come
your
only,
work?
when you come only against the Jews,
No.
When the
Where is
Jews
your
are
work?
involved,
All
this
these
is so-
genocides are happening. How come me and my friends, we're doing that work, and you have a criticism of that, but you didn't start one thing to help any of them? You Uyghurs, Sudan, nothing. You have time. Why didn't you start something? We are doing Palestine, we did Sudan, we did Yemen, we did Iraq, we did all of those things. Where did you did? Zero. You did not speak about any genocide. You don't protest about any genocide outside. If you do, I will join you. But you haven't and you never will.
But what I'm going to tell you about your groups, basically, you single out Israel, the only Jewish state in the world.
That's why.
Not only this, look at this. There are 52 Arab or Muslim countries. The one small, small
different people
Jewish state.
single out Israel for different reasons. Anti-Semites love what Israel's doing because it helps them show that Jews are bad and this and that. So anti-Semites are involved with it, 100%. And what we
And
do,
they use you.
No, they don't use us.
They use you as a
trust me.
useful
No.
idiots.
No.
This is what they use you,
Okay.
Rafael.
And then there are people who are religious and Jewish who are trying to protect the Jewish soul. So they're going there. Then there are people who are just humanitarian people who maybe they have a tuition, they don't want to go to supply that, or they don't want their tax money. They want their tax money to go to healthcare instead of Israeli weapons and this and that. So many different people do it for many different reasons. In fact, a lot of Israelis themselves agree with me more than they do with you. In fact, there's prime ministers that agree with me, that disagree with you. In fact, 9 out of 10 of the last Shin Bet leaders, you should watch this documentary, Israeli. It's about all the Shin Bet leaders, and they talk about it. They sound like me, but you're going to call them lefty, bleeding heart, useful idiots. No, they're the leaders of Shin Bet for the last 25 years, saying what I'm saying. Why?
Rafael, what is from the river to the sea means to you?
So the river to the sea, what does sea to shining sea mean to you in America? The sea to shining sea, what does that mean?
No, the phrase that you guys
There's
use.
a phrase in America
From
too.
which river?
Right.
The Jordanian River
Yes.
to the sea, Mediterranean Sea, right?
Right. So
basically, what it means.
In America, what does it mean, the sea to shining sea? It means America at the Atlantic Ocean to California. It's describing the land. In fact, the river to the sea was used in the Likud charter.
No, again, but look at the ending. From the river to the sea,
Yeah.
Palestine will be free.
Yeah.
So basically, there is no Jewish state. Everything should be just Palestinian,
It
Arabs.
was. Jews lived in Palestine. It was Palestine. Palestinian state doesn't necessarily have to mean anything like that. I'm not here to decide for Israelis or Palestinians. That's their life and their choice. They have to decide the future they want. They might want 2 states. They might want 1 state where everyone has equal rights, like we do in the United States, where everyone has 1 person, 1 vote, like this kind of thing, which they don't have in Israel. But in my job here is to be like, why is my religion being used? Why are my synagogues being used? Why is the Holocaust being used? Why is the money that's supposed to be fighting anti-Semitism, which is dangerous and rising today, being used for Israel? Why?
Raphael,
and then
your groups are creating more anti-Semitism.
You know what creates anti-Semitism? Genocide. And you know, when we talk about solving this problem, it is also a religious question. Like when I was taught, like in Uzbekistan, when I moved to, as a kid, when we moved to the projects and I was growing up, we also helped a lot of our family come. I'm sure you did too, other people have too. You know, like you would bring in people, they would live in your house for a couple of months until they found their own thing. And I got to interview and talk, just like you're interviewing me, I got to interview all my elders, all my uncles, all my cousins, and learn from them. And they would tell me stories. Some of the stories was not good, like with like tension between Muslims and Jews. Some of the stories were beautiful, where they were in solidarity against the Soviet Union. You know, one of those stories was in a mosque, you know, they weren't allowed to pray, Muslims, just like Jews weren't allowed to pray. But in a mosque, it could be a museum. So they would go to the museum and pray, and that would be okay. And we couldn't always have a synagogue, so sometimes the imam and the rabbi made an agreement that we could do a bar mitzvah or something in the mosque because there's no idols, right? Because it's kosher. And also they couldn't do kosher, they couldn't do halal slaughter for their meat because of the Soviet police and all those things. And we kind of have agreements. We paid some police named Ivan to look the other way when we did kosher slaughter. So they decided, their imam and the rabbi decided that our food is halal plus. It's like glat halal. That's how they would describe it. Like it's extra halal. So they would eat kosher food. So there was this like camaraderie, brotherhood, sisterhood between our people in many cases, even if there was some troubles too. And but that's the one thing we both agree with Muslims about idol worshiping. And sometimes to me, the way you and some people make Israel sound like it is utopia, they can never do anything wrong, Israelis are all innocent, they're not like us, and this, to me, that's idol worshiping, and I think that.
No, I disagree with you. I agree with you that everybody does wrong.
Judaism.
Everybody does wrong. There is no question. But with the conflict between Hamas and Israel, there's a black and white.
No.
There is no question over here even, and I just didn't finish because it didn't let me. Gaza was controlled by Egypt up until 1967.
Yeah.
The West Bank were controlled by the Jordanians. Okay. 1970s, the late 70s, Muhammad Anwar Sadat came to Israel. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I was in Israel. He signed the peace treaty. The Israeli gave him the Sinai. And they offered Gaza. Yeah. He said, no. I don't want the Palestinians here. But you controlled Gaza pre-1967. He didn't want to take it. Then they signed a peace treaty with Jordan. Okay. They said, what about the West Bank, They said, no. We don't want the Palestinians.
They have the most Jordanians. Jordan has the most Palestinians.
Correct. We don't want any more Palestinians because they know that Palestinians cause problems in Lebanon, in Syria, in Jordan.
That's how they talk about Jews.
In Egypt.
The way you're talking about Palestinians.
They know that the Palestinians cause problems, and they said, we don't want them.
They say,
we don't want these territories. Keep the territories. We don't want the territories.
The anti-Semites, not you. And, the anti-Semites do the same argument about us. We're so similar to the Palestinians historically. And we come from the same people. And DNA-wise, we're the most similar in the world with Palestinian people. So it explains why, maybe, that people use this argument, like, oh, Palestine, no one liked the Palestinians, there's something wrong with them. that's how they speak about Jews in Europe. They said Jews were kicked out of every country they were in. There must be something wrong with them. So I don't like this argument because to me that argument reminds me of how anti-Semites talk about Jews. So, and I don't think there's something wrong with Palestinians, that every country was against Palestinians. They are the most like us, and we know that in any country, the minorities, the small groups, like we are, Bukharian people in this country are very small. Jews are very small in this country, population in the world even smaller. Every minority, trans people, black people, Latino people, like any minority always has the weight of whoever is in domination on them, right?
By the way, you just mentioned the trans and the LGBT community. And I see them with you guys.
Yeah, we're very open to the LGBT.
Right. They're with your group, you know, they are pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinians.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, you know what they do them.
You're going to do the propaganda. They throw them from the roof. My friend has a picture he just put yesterday. They're sitting on a roof.
They kill them.
Jewish and gay, sitting on the roof in Gaza, and in the West Bank, no one is throwing them off the roof. You know who's killing gay people in Gaza? Israel.
If they'll know basically that they are gay, they're gonna kill them in a minute. They're gonna kill them. Maybe they're just sitting on the roof.
You're right. There's some
in the
people.
West Bank.
There's some.
Otherwise, they're gonna kill them.
You are correct that there's some Palestinian religious people. There's a certain segment of them who are going to be against gay people, even violently. Agree. That exists in Islam. It exists in Judaism, it exists in Christianity, it exists in Buddhism, it exists in every religion, anti-gay violence.
Not in Judaism.
Yes, it does.
It exists. Right, no, in the Torah it's mentioned.
I see posters outside, outside the synagogue.
We're not allowed to go and kill gays.
I see posters
This
outside.
is not Judaism.
I understand.
But
that's
Islam,
not your interpretation
Islam,
of it. But you know, this is a Muslim
a
friend of yours will say the same thing about Islam not being, because it's their interpretation of it. Our Bible, our Torah, our Talmud, our Tanakh, all of those things, it's mostly, this is God, and then this is our debate. You know, just like we're debating right now. Like our whole religion is about disagreement and debate so that we could find the truth in the middle. Our religion is not, this person is always right and this person is always wrong. I'm never always right. You're never always right.
Correct.
We debate this.
Right.
And somewhere in the middle,
our religion is always open. Judaism is always open to debate, questions, and getting answers.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go back to Egypt because you mentioned Egypt. I want to just to remind you, Egypt closed the borders with Gaza. So if each Egyptian, like, you know, the Palestinians...
Do you think Egyptians are interested in allowing Israel to ethnically cleanse Palestinians?
Yeah, Israel is not going to ethnically cleanse
pushing them out to Egypt is ethnic cleansing.
Not only pushing them, but also opening and bringing them some aid. No Egyptian truck came to Gaza.
There are Egyptian trucks. Israel controls the crossing.
Israel didn't control the Keren Shalom, the crossings that are on the Israeli part, and you have crossings that are on the Egyptian part.
We're not going to agree.
Israel didn't have even control, couldn't be on the border with Egypt.
There's IDF soldiers right now saying what I'm saying openly. Either they're against it or even proud of it. So, but we're not going to resolve this between us. You know, what I want to share here is
I'm just going to mention also, when the Allies, they bombed Germany, they killed over 2 million civilians. Mm-hmm. So according to you, this was wrong, that they were bombing Germany?
I think bombing civilians is wrong.
They bombed Hiroshima.
Yeah, I think that was wrong.
And this basically,
most historians agree that that's wrong.
Over 100,000 civilians died.
Yeah, it was a genocide.
But at least, you know, the war was stopped, the Holocaust was stopped.
No. It was a genocide. It didn't have to happen.
Something, Raphael, that was also disturbing to me.
I hope never you do this math where my life and my family's life it's okay for us to be killed as an example for someone else. I hope that you never believe that. You know, like the Hiroshima, where you're saying it was justified that they did that. It was not justified. I hope you never make that argument about anyone.
So the Americans, the Allies shouldn't have bombed German.
That was genocide.
This was
in Japan, it was genocide.
Not what Hitler did.
Yeah, of course. What Hitler did was genocide, of course.
Okay, what's something else?
But you know, the Zionists back then, the right-wing Zionists would ally with Hitler, right? You knew that, right?
Something else that I saw.
Did you know that?
That I saw.
Wait! You're changing the subject. Did you know the right-wing Zionists? There was left-wing Zionists. There was right-wing Zionists. the right-wing Zionists allied with Hitler during World War II, right? You know that.
No.
They made agreements with him because they wanted to move everyone to
They
Israel.
wanted to move more Jews
Right,
out
so they
of
collaborated
ways
with Hitler.
harm,
Yeah.
out of the Holocaust. But they were trying to get any way through the government.
They allied with him, yeah. And then they killed fellow Jews. They killed left Israel. They killed left Zionists.
They were trying to save as much.
So this
as
is
many as
another thing
possible.
that maybe I could get to ask you now, because
Sure.
there is this movement, the Kahanist movement, right? Are you aware of them?
The Kahanists?
Meir Kahan.
Sure,
the
Meir
people
Kahana, yes.
Yeah, who assassinated the prime minister in Israel.
No. Wait a minute. Meir Kahana was assassinated here.
Yeah.
Before the prime minister.
No. A Kahanist killed that prime minister.
Before Rabin was murdered in
Right.
Israel,
Because he tried to make peace.
he was killed over
He
here,
was killed,
Kahana,
right.
by a Muslim terrorist that came.
Kahan wasn't a terrorist himself?
Kahana?
Yeah.
Meir Kahana, by the way, he lived there in Queens, in
Yes,
Howard
I know.
Beach.
I know all
He's
about
from-
Meir Kahana.
Then he moved to Israel. No, he was a what?
He was a known terrorist in America.
There's no question. Kahana wasn't a terrorist at all.
Are you
Meir
kidding me?
Kahana
Okay, so you're
was a-
far right. You're not even.
No, Meir
you're not
Kahana-
even just conservative or Republican. You're far right.
No, Meir Kahana was a rabbi that
Meir
basically...
Kahana
right?
was a Jewish terrorist. He says so himself.
Uh,
They would bomb children's schools. They would bomb U.S. Senate offices.
Meir
they
Kahana, he
they
fought-
killed a prime minister of Israel for trying to make
Again,
peace.
Meir Kahana was assassinated here before Rabin
You see,
was...
this is how you do everything.
Before Rabin was killed in
Yeah,
Israel.
you
You
don't-
have
you
your
never
your
see-
dates even wrong.
You always
Raphael,
start
you have your
with-
facts
wait,
wrong. and
you
dates
always
wrong.
start the
He wasn't
story.
there. He wasn't alive
You
when
always-
Rabin was killed.
You always start the story. Meir Kahane was alive. You always start the story. Wait.
You want me to go
wait,
again?
wait.
Chat
You always start the
GPT or
story
Google?
of when the bad person
Meir
was
Kahana,
attacked.
one second. Let me ask. When
No,
Meir
no.
Kahana, because I
Kahanist
remember when
killed.
Meir Kahana was murdered here.
All right, so it doesn't matter because what I learned just now is you are a far right winger, which is basically the supremacist. You're a Jewish supremacist.
No, God forbid. Raphael.
He was.
November 5th, 1990 in Manhattan, he was assassinated.
Okay.
Now we're going to ask ChatGPT, just for you, if you don't believe
I
me.
didn't say he killed
Rabin was, this is what you said.
I said his movement killed Rabin. His followers.
Rabin was killed on November 4th, 1995.
Right.
So this was years after
His followers.
Kahana wasn't there.
The Kahanist movement is responsible for his murder.
Meir,
Just like you say, Al Qaeda is responsible, whatever. Canada, the U.S. designates the JDL, Jewish Defense League, that Kahanist started, as a terrorist group.
why did he start it, the JDL? You remember?
They are a terrorist group. Do you agree?
1 second.
The U.S. government calls them, the FBI calls them a terrorist group. You don't agree.
I disagree.
Okay, so.
Raphael, you are here and I'm here because of Kahana also.
Okay.
Kahana fought,
don't-
and he fought when he was living here in New York. Fought for us, for the Russian-speaking
come to
Jews
the US.
to come out.
Not just Kahan, the left
Just
Jews
come-
also.
No,
everyone.
but
Everyone,
But he
all
did
Jews
right,
fought
and
for
he
that.
did many things
Yeah, we
to
did
get
it
the
peacefully.
attention
Wait,
of the
wait.
government
Wait,
and of
the progressive Jews did it peacefully. We had signs, we had this, let our people go. He sent people to bomb the Senate offices.
Bomb that never hurt anybody,
Right.
never brought harm.
So that's
But
okay.
he wanted the attention of the government, the attention of the Russians, of
So
the
you think he's a
Soviets,
hero?
that time the Soviets.
There's I can't
and
debate
he
with-
basically,
It's sad to me.
his way was,
It's
let
sad
my
to me
people
that
go.
someone like you,
And I think, thanks to
I-
his actions, you and me are here today.
It's sad to me that someone I respect, like you, who's a good person, who cares about people, who has Muslim friends, and this, is a Kahanist that believes in Kahan.
I don't think I'm Kahanist, but
or defending a terrorist like that.
I don't think he's not a terrorist.
Okay,
There's no question.
then Hamas is not a terrorist if he's
now-
not a terrorist, according to you.
And now reading his books and, not being under the propaganda of the leftist
He
liberals.
believes in the supremacy of the Jewish soul over all other souls.
No.
Yeah.
No. Kahana believed what? In Zionism, for the Jews to have their state in Eretz Israel.
He believed much more.
And
beyond.
he was right. He said basically, if the Arabs going to have the opportunity, they're going to wipe us and they're going to kill us. And October 7th just proved it.
right.
Something else that
very sad to
I
me.
just saw on your Instagram, Raphael, and I didn't like, but again, this is you, and I understand when you speak about the Holocaust and you speak about making the movies, the pianist, and the Schindler's List, and showing the Jew, educated Jew, talented Jew. He said, why don't you show the Jews? Why don't you show,
Yeah.
because
I think every person is important.
This is basically...
That's a joke. First of all, that's a joke.
After 6 million Jews were murdered in the Holocaust.
Including family members.
You understand?
My grandfather came back with a
And speaking about,
bullet in his leg.
go and, act as a Jew. Act,
No, that's not what I said.
Do
you want to find what I said?
And don't...
That's not what I said.
You want to go to your Instagram page?
If you have it, you could go. I don't...
It's going to take me time, but I can find it.
I got a message for Adrian Brody. I don't know why I started. I got a message for you, Adrian Brody. Maybe because you're Italian. But yeah, I got a message for you. I don't care what everyone says that you shouldn't be playing all these Jewish characters. You're great at them. Great. Back to back, you're playing characters of very highly talented Jewish men who are survivors of the Holocaust. One, the pianist, and then the other, the brutalist, this great architect. And maybe, I think here's the deal. You can continue playing Jewish Holocaust survivors, but maybe this time someone bad at shit, like a regular, like a really shitty dentist, like the shittiest dentist in the Jewish ghetto who brushes his client's teeth with like a lollipop, like the dumbest, most basic, the worst Jewish chef in the ghetto. Someone who once he gets his hand on a zucchini, the entire village tries to rescue the zucchini because it's going to taste better raw than it would after his cooking. I want you to play these regular Jews, okay? Like enough of the exceptional Jew who escaped the Holocaust. I want the story of a regular, or even just like a dumb Jew, like a dumb Jew, one of our dumbest, like a Shapiro or someone, or like a Dershowitz, like a dumb motherfucker, and how he survives. That would be a story. I want to see movies called The Pharmacist. Gives you everything expired and you die. I want to see you do a movie called The Podiatrist. Gives your feet hand therapy or something like that. I want a dumb motherfucker. And I want to watch his story. That's what the story you should do. Not the greatest among us. That's easy. I challenge you. Also, it's 2025. You don't make a Holocaust movie and not mention Gaza when you're promoting it. So tonight, if you win, say Free Palestine until it's backwards.
But what I'm saying there is whenever human beings want to advocate for someone, we always look for the perfect victim. Like, for example, if there's a person on the street who's hungry, we want them to, they're hungry because their boss fired them, because they didn't do anything wrong, they didn't take any drugs, they didn't make any bad decisions financially. I'm not going to help them. My point is we should help people even who are not perfect. So that I am a big fan of these films about Shoah. I think it educates people. I think we need more of those. What I'm saying there in a dark joking way is, why is it always like the best pianist or the best artist or this or that? Why isn't it just a story of someone who's ordinary, a barber, a story of someone who maybe they're alcoholic or maybe they are divorced.
Because this is how you want to portray Jews.
No, it's not.
This is how you want to portray,
because I know
like
Jews
you said, shitty Jew, alcoholic Jew. You don't want to portray them like educated Jew.
No, what are you talking about?
The pianist Jew, the educated Jew.
In fact, do you want to hear something about this?
And this, I think, this is...
In fact, the right-wing Kahanist movement actually talks about this. They said that in Europe, I don't know if you believe this, Meir Kahan said this as well, that he says in Europe, the intellectual Jews, that they were weak and they were assimilating and they walked like sheep and they deserved what they got. And in Israel, we are the new Jew and we're farmers and fighters and strong and this and that, and we're different. And he basically attacked the Holocaust, murdered in the Holocaust, for being intellectuals, for being special and all those things like that. And he said that Israelis and the new Jews who's special, they deserved almost, he said, the way he said it is almost like they deserved it. My point is only, no Jew deserves the Holocaust. That's it. Nobody.
Nobody. Nobody deserves the Holocaust or the genocide that was committed by Hamas toward
Nobody
Jews.
deserves any genocide by anybody.
There is no question. And this is an unfortunate. But Raphael, I want to thank you very much for coming. If you're in the neighborhood, you're always welcome to stop by.
Can I make one final point?
Sure.
So I feel like in my community, in the Bukharian community, what I'm learning is we are supporting like Trump and all of these kind of people who are openly attacking the things that we need to survive. Trump is going to take away social, like housing, public housing, food assistance, SNAP, the meals, even the private organizations that give meals, they get grants from the government that he's going to stop. He's deported already Bukharian people. He's trying to deport, including one of my friends who he wants to deport, and who has never lived in Uzbekistan, and he's going to deport him there. So there's this thing where Trump is doing that is affecting our people, Bukharian people. And
I disagree.
And you disagree because what Trump is doing, he's distracting you. He's telling you, look at this trans person, he's doing this to you. Look at this leftist, he's doing this. Look over here, over there. And while he's doing that, he's taking all of the money, he's destroying the Constitution. He's changing the reason why we came to this country. To be able to.
By the way, he's not changing the Constitution against.
He is.
He doesn't have the power to change the Constitution.
He is violating it every day. Yeah. So that's just like my point.
So this is why you have the
don't
Supreme
fall.
Court, and this is why you have Congress, and you have Senate, and we have
we're
a
in a
system
crisis.
over here. So let me just tell you about the illegal immigrants and basically the violent criminals that he's deporting.
No, he's also deporting naturalized people like us.
I don't
He
think
wants his first task force when he first became president, his first task force was to look at all of the paperwork of everyone who did naturalization so that they can begin deporting people, naturalized people. Do you think all of the Bukharian people's paperwork is perfect? It's not.
No, it's not only the paperwork. We're speaking about criminal.
No, he doesn't. He just uses it. That's again, he's saying, look at the criminal, and then he's doing all of
And
this
I'll tell you, in the Biden administration.
And you're falling for it.
And I'll give you an example. I sit here, in the office, and during Biden's time, I had here literally at least, a few dozen people every week knocking on the door over here, coming, we're looking for a job.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you coming from? Oh, I'm from Uzbek. I'm from Tajikistan.
We hire them.
One second. I'm from El Salvador. Yeah. I'm from Africa. I'm from Senegal.
That's what my father did too.
I said, I said, okay.
Yeah.
And how did you come here? You have so many people. Oh, we just crossed the border through Mexico.
Most of them are applying
We
for
just
refugees.
crossed. It's not like you came here. It's not like me.
So why is
I came here.
Why is ICE in the federal building? Wait.
One second.
ICE is in the federal
building. They
building.
were coming here, and they were and I said to myself then, Raphael, I said, how many terrorists are coming here?
Oh my God, that's how you saw
How many criminals? No. 90% of them are peaceful, 80% probably peaceful, but how many terrorists?
But he's saying he's deporting 100%.
How many criminals just crossed the border under Biden's watch? And you have to know, this is a crisis.
Have you read the studies
about And at least
about
Trump
crime?
is doing something about it, and I'm very proud of Trump.
Immigrants.
And we're very proud, that he...
The percentage of crime immigrants
Not only this, Trump showing himself as a strong leader. Look at the hostages.
Okay.
No Biden and not Harris would bring the hostages. And he brought them.
You know what brought the most hostages? The ceasefire that I was fighting for. The most hostages that was brought was the ceasefire.
You were fighting for 2 years, nothing happened. But when Trump came,
the
came
initial
aboard,
ceasefire before Trump.
When Trump came,
the most hostages.
When Trump came aboard,
Israel
he knew how to do it.
Israel killed more hostages than it saved.
And he did it here. He did it with Pakistan and India. He did it in many other parts of the world.
So you could celebrate this man.
I celebrate.
He's anti-Semitic.
He's not anti-Semitic.
He makes fun of our Sukkot. Yesterday he said the Jews don't control the government anymore. He said Jews, all they care about is money, all of those things like that. And you are supporting.
No, Raphael, you get your facts wrong.
No, these are not facts. This is him on video.
What he did, by recognizing Jerusalem as the eternal capital of Israel.
So everything's
And this is
Israel to you, not
what-
America.
When he
Not like if
when he
our
recognized
people,
when he
if
no no
our
when he
Bahraini people can
one second.
afford to live here.
One second. When he recognized the Golan Heights, as Israeli territory, and you tell me he's an anti-Semite,
percentage?
he's the most
Yes, he's
pro-Israeli
That's
and
not the same
pro-Jewish president we
That's
ever
not the same thing.
had.
The Proud Boys, the neo-Nazis, they're also pro-Israel because they want all the Jews to leave here. So they're anti-Semitic and they support Israel. They're anti-Semitic and they want to also make the United States a country only for Christians. They want to use Israel as a model and make United States a country only for Christians.
Okay.
Do you support that?
By the way, Israel is not a model because in Israel you have the Israeli Arabs.
You just said it should
you
be
have
a
over
Jewish
2
Muslim
million
state.
Israeli Arabs that
You
live in
just said it should
Haifa,
be a
in Yafo,
completely
in
Jewish
Yerushalayim, etc. So you know it. And I lived in
Your
Israel.
hero Kahan says it should be 100% Jewish state. You said it should be ruled by Jewish law. You said it's the only Jewish state. You didn't say it's a multi-faith state.
No, this is a Jewish state.
Right.
You have
Right.
other ethnic groups. You have the Christian, you have the Muslim. Why not? But this is the Jewish state. This is something that Mamdani couldn't say. Mamdani
Jewish-
rejects.
He says a democratic state.
And
where
Mamdani mentioned, and he said, if Netanyahu is going to come here to New York, I'm going to arrest him. I think you also support this.
if I could arrest him, I would arrest Netanyahu.
Wow.
Netanyahu is a war criminal who needs, just like any war criminal should be in The Hague.
Wow. So, wow, this is radical already.
It's not radical at all.
This is
Half
radical.
of Israelis would agree with me.
No. To arrest Netanyahu
Do you remember how many
as soon as
Israelis,
he comes to
do
New
you
York?
remember how many Israelis came to the streets?
This is the radical that you can be.
Wait. Do you remember how many Israelis before October 7th were in the streets to arrest Netanyahu for corruption?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Do you remember? Millions of people on the street.
Wow.
That's not very radical. In fact, the most radical thing said here today was that you supported the Kahanist movement and Meir Kahan. And people should look that up, the Kahanist terrorist group.
Basically, I supported his struggle for Soviet Jewry.
That's not the Kahanist movement.
This is the kind of movement.
No, it's not.
And,
Every Jew did that. J-Fredge did that.
But otherwise, I want to thank Рафаэль.
Thank
Хотел
you.
бы благодарить Рафаэля. Рафаэль Шимунов, как я сказал, он пришел сюда, сел с нами, мы имели приятную беседу. Мы, я думаю, не согласны ни о чем с ним. We probably cannot find anything that we can agree upon with Рафаэль.
We can agree on things.
But nonetheless, he came here. Again,
We
like
can
I
agree. We can agree that Bukharians deserve a city that we can afford to live in, that we can have stable rent. We agree that cost of living should be low. We should agree that the buses and the trains should be affordable. We agree no one should go into debt for
free
college.
grocery stores,
There
right?
should- not free grocery stores.
buses,
We didn't say
like we
that.
had back in the former Soviet Union, Raphael.
Like
we
they have in
came-
Finland and Sweden.
Right, we came with you and ask your parents, ask your grandparents, and ask your parents how did they live, with
They have mixed memories. They have memories that are bad,
yeah, that
and then they have memories that are good. Trust me, they love the
that they
subway.
had to wait
I
3
just
hours
came-
to get a toilet
I just
paper,
came from- I just
and
came
to buy
from
toilet
Samarkand.
paper.
I just visited Samarkand. The subways, we wish we had the beautiful subway like they have.
Right, there's no question. I'm not speaking about the subway, I'm not speaking about
It's
Samarkand
free.
now.
It's like almost
I'm
free.
not speaking about Uzbekistan now. I'm speaking about the former Soviet Union,
Yeah.
where we're coming from.
No, those are built during the
communist
former
Soviet Union.
But anyway, it's really a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Raphael.
We should do it again one day.
Мы только что закончили интервью с Рафаэлем Шимуновым, бухарский еврей, который родился в Таджикистане, жил в Самарканде, переехал сюда, в Нью-Йорк, в Бору-парк, затем Поманок, Фреш Медоуз, и стал радикальный, либеральный, прогрессивный, пропалестинский активист, который осуждает Израиль, осуждает Нетаньяху, который выходит на эти митинги, который считает Мамдани своим хорошим другом, Линда Сарсур, антисемитка, и считает ее хорошую знакомую, конгрессвумен Илам Омар, его хорошая знакомая. И я думаю, после сегодняшнего интервью, как это так? Что случилось с Рафаэлем, с хорошей семьи? И как они смогли так промыть ему мозги? И когда я с ним беседовал, он мне сказал, как он приехал сюда, он был всю жизнь в public school. Он был в public school, он был в этой системе. И у меня нету даже сомнений, что вот эта промывка в мозгах ему сделали в public school. Он был с садика и до 12 класса, затем он пошел в колледж. И это друзья, это знакомые, учителя, это профессоры, которые так повлияли и сделали его еще таким либеральным, радикальным против Израиля и против еврейского государства активистом. И это мое мнение, и я считаю, вот эта причина, почему он стал такой приятный, такая у него хорошая душа. Ну, посмотрите, something went wrong. И я считаю, вот эта система образования в Америке,